Hey friends, this is Phal. Today I wanted to run you through getting started in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I wanted to make this video because I see so many people on every corner of the internet saying, I want to start Monster Hunter, but I'm intimidated by it. Coming from World and this is just too different and too frustrating, or my partner just left me and I need something to absorb my life for a little while. So whether you're a returning veteran, brand new player, or a fresh divorcee, hopefully this guide can get you up and running and destroying ecosystems in no time. Obviously, the first thing we're going to do is start a new game. Worth mentioning though, if you have any data on Monster Hunter Generations on the 3DS, you can transfer it over here. Hit new game, create new character. We're going to zoom through this, and this gentleman's name is going to be Q. Everybody likes Q. QQ, apparently. Thank you. The only thing I would recommend changing, if you do want to speed through this and you think, oh, my character's just going to be wearing a helmet the whole time, would be the voice, because you might hate that. Just going to hit done. Going to quickly explain some of these styles. We've got guild style, which allows us to have 2 hunter arts, which are special abilities, which we'll touch on a little bit more. We're not going to go too in depth here. We also have striker style, which is all about the hunting arts. It allows you to use up to 3, and it passively charges your hunting arts as you're hunting. Aerial style, which changes your dodge roll to a little jump, which allows you to jump up on the monsters and change your moveset so that you can do more aerial hits and mount the monsters a bit more to knock them over. Adept style, which is all about the dodges, perfect iframe rolls. If you do manage to pull one of these off, you'll be able to do instant counter-attack moves, and it's very, very cool. Then you have Valor style, which is all based around sheathing your weapon, whilst simultaneously depriving you of most of your moveset until you fill up a bar, but giving you very, very cool attacks in the process. So you sheath an attack, the enemy will hit you while you're in that state, and you'll get some new unique attacks. This one was introduced in Generations Ultimate, or Double Cross as it's called in Japan. It was also known as Brave Stance, which you might see it referred to as, and Alchemy Style was the other of these 2 that was added. It gives you a barrel which you shake, and it gives you buffs. We're going to be starting with Striker because I want to show off the hunting arts to the best of my ability. We've got Round Force, Absolute Evasion, and Escape Runner. I'm going to continue with these settings. Just going to start over as an old mate QQ. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate was a love letter to the series. It features many monsters from returning generations, so the various ones up to now, as well as every single hub that's been in a game. And it also features a plethora of new, really cool and really exciting monsters. This is Burner Village. You'll be spending some time here. This is your standard hub affair in any Monster Hunter game. It's lovely, it's colorful, it's got cool characters. And the first thing that we're going to do is, in case you are a pro gamer, you don't care about any of this crap, you just want to go slap some monsters, I'm going to show you how you can get into a quest straight away. We talked about Burner Chief. We skip him because we don't care, we're too good. Then we run up to the Chief Researcher here. Hello, hello, hello. Come back down and talk to the Chief again. And then we talk to the Burner Gal. All the gals will be our main source of quests. There are a few that we have to do to progress, but we're not going to look too much at it now. But you have these ones to choose from, and they're a good time. The first thing we're going to do, whilst being completely optional, is we're going to explore our house and the DLC menu. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate featured a DLC lineup, which will give you many items to get you started in the game. You access this by talking to the Chamberlain, coming down to... the Chamberlain explains this whole thing to you. Downloadable content. View the DLC menu. It'll take you to this DLC menu, connect you to the internet. We get a very cute little dancing cat plus people. Isn't that lovely? If you don't want to do this, I would still recommend that you get the quests, as it unlocks most of the cool crossover events. For instance, there's a Breath of the Wild Link costume, as well as you can unlock the Master Sword and Hylian Shield, I believe. But what we're really looking at is the item packs. This will cut down on your grinding 1,000-fold. You won't have to go and collect honey or mega potions or bother with the farm too much. You still will want to bother with these things because these do run out, but it's a great way to get started. I would recommend taking all of them, but if you have no time, the starter packs are a great way to go. So let's just pretend I haven't already downloaded them all, blah, blah, blah. And we come back. This will spawn us back at Burner Village. This can also be done from the start menu, the downloadable content thing. And that's easy. You can do that before you even create a character. But now, because we broke the law before by not patting Mufa, we have to do it right now. Because they're very cute. Thank you so much. Give them a little smooch. Alright, and we're on our way back to explaining everything about our house, because this is integral. Chamber line, downloadable content, claim items. We're just going to take starter pack 1 and 3 and 1, something that gives us money. This gives us silver eggs, which I do want to sell for money. Now, this is our in-house item box, in which we can store items, of which we presently have none, but it's still worth mentioning, and take items. Press X and it'll sort them. Take a bundle of mega potions, and we'll take some eggs as well. Easy money. We'll also take some well done steaks so that we don't have to do that later. And a trap and some trank bombs. No problems at all. We also have some armor spheres, which are used for upgrading your weapons. Some Mufa fleece ball, which we got from giving our buddy a little pat. And life powder, which you can use in online hubs to heal your friends. Now, let's say you don't want to play Sword and Shield, or you don't like how you made your character. You can change your clothing, hairstyle, etc. here. You can also combine items, which we can combine nothing now. But you use this to make potions and mega potions and all that stuff. As you can see, there's a success chance. I'll show you how to increase that chance in just a moment. But there's many things that you can create, and we're not going to cover them all here today. You can also arrange your box however you see fit, but I think you'll probably just hit Y anyway. Unlike previous games, which I seem to have forgotten, you can sell things from your box, which is super helpful, but I'm going to show you the market gal anyway. You can also change your equipment. The game gives you one of every single weapon to start the game off with, so you don't have to worry about just playing with the sword and shield. We have the great sword, which is your typical chunky, slow sword affair. It's great fun. The long sword, which is actually more of a katana. It's great for doing combos and being really flashy, and it is one of the 3 starter weapons I would recommend. The second being sword and shield, which is a great time. It does stun damage, and you can also defense. It's a great blend. Just because it's beginner doesn't mean that it isn't good. You have dual blades, which is your standard dual wielding little swords affair. It's fantastic. It's great fun. It also has a thing called demon mode and arc demon mode, which you can do even flashier combos whilst draining your stamina. You have the hammer, which allows you to do big hits, and if you hit the monster's head, you get to stun them. You can also spin around like a Beyblade and give them smashes right on the nose. This is the hunting horn, probably the most complex weapon in the entire game. You can play songs to increase your health, to increase your attack, defense, earplugs, this, that, or the other, but you actually have to remember these songs. It plays similarly to the hammer as well, in that you can bonk things right on the noggin, and you do lots of damage. The lance, your typical defensive, I have a shield and a pokem affair. You have the gun lance, which is the lance, but more explodey. The switch axe, which is half axe, half sword, so you can use it in axe mode, swing it around, turn it into a sword, and it will do an explosion attack, and it's really cool. The charge blade, which is the bigger sword and shield, but it also morphs into a great axe, which you can swing around and do lots of damage. It also has explosive files, and it's really cool. The insect glaive, the most aerial of all the weapons introduced in Monster Hunter 4, like the charge blade. You can leap through the air and shoot a bug at enemies, and it's really cool and really unique. This is the light bow gun. It's a small gun, very mobile, but you get to shoot monsters in the face. The heavy bow gun, not very mobile, still getting to shoot monsters in the face. There are stark differences between these two. And the bow, your standard bow and arrow affair. It's good stuff. We're going to be running with the longsword today because it's very beginner friendly. And I want to show you some of the combos. I think you'll have some great fun with it. You can also sell your equipment from this box, but that's okay. Equipment sets, which you won't be doing until much later when you have skills under your belt. But what we do want to look at is the style/arts. Every weapon has its own unique arts. For instance, we have Sakura Slash, unlike Round Force for this one, and you unlock more of these as the game progresses. That's worth mentioning, and I'm going to show you how you do that as well. This is everything we can show in the room. You can come save on this bed, or you can come and save at the exit game menu. But right now, let's have a little walk around the village and see what we have to be offered here. This is the Style Master. You'll want to talk to him after hunts. He doesn't let you change styles here, but he does unlock new ones and power up your current ones, which is really, really cool. And he'll tell you a little bit about everything. One thing I didn't mention is that guild style also increases how quickly you use items. That's another great beginner style. He also explains what all of these do. And SP Hunter Arts. SP Hunter Arts tap into the synergy between hunters to provide powerful boosts. So this is a multiplayer thing. This is the armory. You will almost never come here, because you are just being sold base level weapons and armor. It may have like an application at some point, but I don't envision when it would. What you really want to do here is talk to the Smithy. You will be talking to this person a lot. It is where you use to create new armor, to upgrade your current armor, upgrade your weapons, forge decorations, do your taxes, all that good stuff. So it's not exceedingly relevant now, but you can create many different kinds of weapons here, and all of them have unique trees relevant to monsters that it is that you're hunting, so you'll probably want to bust out the wiki for this one. We also have forge armor on individual things. Just a quick overview of what it is that we're looking at from the stats. So as you can see, chainmail headgear, level 1, because you can upgrade it. Defense of a value of 2. Slots, that is for decorations. Decorations are little jewels that you can put in that will increase specific skills, effectively giving you different buffs based off the armor/decorations that you're slotting. Then obviously you have your fire, water, thunder, ice, and dragon resistance. All of that's very cool. Upgrade equipment, which you can do here. So as you can see here, once we upgrade this with a material type of 4 ore, then we will be able to see what the next one is, and the next one. And like I said, every weapon that you can start as a base has its own different tree, and it's all forked. It's really, really quite interesting and fun, and you can create lots of cool little weapons. We'll quickly go over what some of these things have to say. So, Petrified Saber. At level 2, it will give us an attack value of 80. Basically just your standard DPS. Sharpness, which we will get into soon. But effectively, if you don't have a certain level of sharpness, you'll bounce off some monster parts. Different weapons have different sharpness values or ability to bounce off things. And that will gradually go down as you hunt. It's very, very important. Weapons also have slots, but the real one that might trip you up is Affinity. Affinity is your critical chance. So, a affinity of 0 is 0% chance to crit. Whereas 15, obviously 15% chance to crit. And you can increase this through skills or creating different weapons. You can also upgrade your armor here to level 2. Let's just do it to show it off. So Burner Turban becomes from defense level 2 to defense level 4. I would not recommend doing this, but you can do it. It's an option. This, not so relevant right now, but these contribute to the skills. So paralysis skills, but -1 poison. It means that you can paralyze the monster a little bit easier, as well as setting decorations into stuff that you already have. We have no decorations. But that's a very brief overview of the Smithy. This is your Palico armory. We don't have Palicos yet, but we will come back to this later. The Flight Attendant is not relevant to us just yet, but we're going to come over here and we're going to talk to the Burner Market. That's her name, just Burner Market. We're going to sell those eggs that we bought before for fat stacks, and then we're going to see what she has. She has herbs, antidote herbs, whetstones, which we're going to buy many of. I would recommend doing this and sending it to the box. If for some reason you don't end up with millions of them from the item packs, I don't remember everything that they give you. We're also going to buy some bug nets because you need those for gathering. And yeah, she sells lots of things. The main things I would recommend you buy are the Book of Combos 1. Send it to your box. and Book of Combos too. This increases your chance to successfully craft items at your box. So you'll never fail a Mega Potion creation. Because honey is valuable. It's very, very difficult to come across. We also have Mufi, which I sincerely hope comes back in Rise. Give him a little pat. This is a Poogie. I think we failed it there. It's been a while since I've given Mufi a little pat. I'm sorry, I'm not pro gaming today. But let's say we get into a hunt, and then I'll show you how you can start playing with your friends right after this. So she's explaining what we can do. We're going to do 10 macaco. Sorry, Macau. Macau, silly me. These are small monsters. Let's pretend we're fighting a big monster though. You're always going to want to come and eat and talk to everyone with yellow exclamation points, quotation boxes above their head. She will give us brand new items in which we can craft different meals. Meals are arguably one of the most important parts of the game, and you're going to want to get into a habit of eating before every single hunt. We're combining these two things to create a new dish. A new dish was added to the menu. What does this mean? We come and we sit at the bench, and we order a meal. So, each of these has different dishes, which all give us very different things. Dauntless Pasta gives us health plus 10, which is pretty cool. Vigorous Stir Fry is stamina plus 25. Not as relevant as you might think, but the Laranoth Salami Roll gives us plus 10 health, but also a small attack buff, which is that active skill down there, Attack S. So we're going to eat that one. Now this is food skills. Kind of difficult to explain all in one sitting, but these are sources. Feline Polisher often speeds up sharpening time and prevents knockbacks from attacks while carving. All very cool. You also have Slugger, which makes it easier to stun monsters. These are just a few things. I would have a recommendation of you reading through them, familiarizing yourself with what you want per hunt. Because Monster Hunter is all about learning the monsters and what it is you want to bring from every individual one. We had a good time. Now, we're going to come up to this item box up here. Make sure we have everything we could ever want for a hunt. Yeah, we're fine. Sometimes you might want to bring honey if you want to make more mega potions, cool drinks, hot drinks, or cold and hot environments. You will take different status deficits depending on which one it is. Hot environment causes you to take damage. Cold environment causes your stamina bar to deplete gradually. But we're going to go and we're going to beat up these macacos. Macacos? I keep getting it wrong. Macaws. Macaws. You also get a nice little bit of flavor text for every single quest that you go on, and I think that's nifty. After we quickly do this one, I'll show you the online hub. We come to this box at the start of every quest. This will change in low rank. They'll stop giving you, from low rank to high rank, they'll stop giving you so many supplies. Take the map, which will light up the whole map that my dumb head is currently covering. Ration, which will upgrade your stamina. Mini whetstones, very important. Paintballs, not so important for small monsters, but for large monsters, you'll see why. And then we'll come and talk to the Veggie Elder, who will occasionally give you some helpful stuff. Some extra rations, which will... Notice how we didn't take the stamina up before. That's because they give you these rations, which you can use to max out your stamina bar, and you can run for forever. Like, see how... We have almost doubled it, and I think that that's super cool. We also have this box, which is the delivery box. If you get certain objectives to deliver stuff, you can bring it here. But let's go and beat some stuff up. Hopefully I can show you off some of the hunting arts and what it looks like to sharpen your weapon and all this good stuff. We got this nice little cutscene that shows off this area. It's very cool. Looks really nice. I like the saturation of Generations Ultimate a lot. I might quickly show you how you can get more raw meat if you choose to bring the portable spit as well. We can come and beat up these monsters here, which will also contribute to upping our hunting arts, as you can see. Every monster weapon has unique combos, executed by pressing... Sorry, I looked down at my controller. X, hitting this 3 times will give you this combo. Hitting X and then A will give you a different combo, but that's XAX. Watch them in their death throes. And then we can carve them for raw meat. That one's coming to beat us up, though. But because we have Super Carver, we're fine. Now, Longsword also has a pretty unique attack known as the Spirit Slash. If we tap R, which will be your block button with various weapons, or transform with others, we will start doing this. After successfully doing a full combo with this, the bar in the top left corner is now white. I'll explain some of the HUD elements to you now. Now, the white being up causes us to do more damage and get that bar up a little bit quicker. To the left of that, we also have a timer. Every quest in Monster Hunter by default has a timer of 50 minutes. To the right of that, the green bar is our health. Underneath that is our stamina, which is the yellow bar. And underneath that is a unique little blade icon. One of the more unique parts of Monster Hunter. That will gradually go down as you hunt. And that will cause us to have to sharpen. If it's red, we are going to bonk off every single monster like it is now. We're not going to bonk off these monsters because they're little ones. But we also do take a slight damage decrease. So, we're going to find an appropriate circumstance to sharpen up. But yeah, these things should be dead. But we're effectively hitting them with a butter knife here, so bear with me. Let's see if we can get both of them. Didn't get any of them. Was hoping for style points, but instead we just look like a big nerd. Also, hitting X and A at the same time gives you this cool displacement attack, known as the Fade Slash, for those of you who played World. You can also offset sharpness with the Spirit Gauge by utilizing it, because it has a natural thing called Mind's Eye. When you hear people referring to Mind's Eye, that means that they hit through monster clank boxes, as we'll call them. Now, our objective here is to hit 10 of them. Kill 10 of these, sorry. If you want, you can carve them for additional materials. I would even recommend doing so. But for now, we'll just ignore them. We'll quickly show off some of the Hunter arts because we can. Absolute Evasion will sheath your weapon whilst being a cool dodge roll, allowing you to get out of sticky situations easier. Great for Greatsword when you're trying to do draw attacks. Now, for Spirit Slash, the only attack that actually has to hit is that final one. It can charge up to 3 times. 5 monsters left, and we're nearly able to use Sakura Slash, which is probably as cool as it sounds. Very cool. And it passively upgrades our Spirit Slash meter. So we're now doing more damage. This is also visually represented by our sword glowing. Thank you. And now we're at 3rd charge, which means we're doing the maximum amount of damage that we can do with it. And absolutely swinging for the fences. Fade Slash is not only good for getting out of the way of monster attacks, but setting up for hitting more creatures, effectively keeping DPS uptime as high as you possibly can. That should be the quest done. Congratulations, that's your first quest in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate done. Proud of you. Proud of you in the same way your parents are proud of you. You have 60 seconds after every quest to do whatever it is that you want. Beat up more monsters, poke fun at the local wildlife, pull up the gesture menu and do the prance, which is easily the best one. Look at this dude. You can also use it to be productive and to gather from the things around you. So null berries, which will get rid of various status effects. Needle berries, which you use for making bowgun ammo. Yes, you have to bring your own ammo in this game. And latch berries, which I forget what they do. Sorry, not a very good guide, I guess. But this is worth doing, as you will still have to do gathering quests to get familiar with it. The game does not let you progress without doing it. Now I'm going to show you the multiplayer hub, and then we'll do some of those gathering quests because, well, you're going to have to do them. And they're a part of a thing called key quests. Unlike Monster Hunter World, you don't just get the regular assignments that'll take you through. GGU has its own clandestine way of taking you through the game in ways that it wants you to go. So not every quest is going to be equally relevant. All quests are created equal, but some are created more equal than others. And you don't have to do all of them, should you just want to progress onto big monsters. Now we've also unlocked the Palico Ranch, where we can go and get our Palico. We talk to the Burner Chief again. What's going on? We go and talk to the Meowstress. Palicos are effectively your offline hunting buddies. So where you would bring, you know, your friends that hopefully you con into getting this game with you, so you can all play around and mix and match and do all of this cool stuff. I think you'll all have a really good time. We're also going to be running open lobbies on our stream, all through up until Rise comes out. So, you know, if you've got a Switch and you want to join, please feel free to do so. Now we talk to the Meowstress. I'm going to keep skipping through this stuff, but do listen to what the characters have to say. They're all pretty fun. You can create your own, so if you have, you know, your own furry little buddy at home, you can make them look however it is that you want. We're not going to mess around with it too much, but Bushy Tail Gang is the best one, and you can even change their voice. They're all equally annoying, don't worry. Now we hit search. This effectively creates one, and it even lets you rename them should you want. This one's name is Pete. We're not going to rename Pete, but let's say you got your own little buddy. You can do just that. There's also Prowler mode, which we're not going to cover in this game. It's effectively a new weapon where you play as the Palico. It was introduced as the beginner-friendly mode, but realistically, if you think that that is just fun, play that. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not allowed to have fun in the way that you have fun. We also have the request log now. She's giving us another quest that we do actually have to do, but it's an introduction to villager requests. These are denoted by little yellow speech bubbles, not quotation bubbles like I called it before. And we can go and do it. And we will do it real quick. Again, we're going to eat because it's a good habit to get into. Now we've got a fresh thing. The chef is fired up. Skill activation chance. Also, you'll notice that it's giving us both benefits of stamina 25 and health 10. Plus the attack up. So let's take Feline Oracle. No, Feline Oracle is not useful to us, but we will want to take it. Feline Gatherer, we will take for the next quest. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to beat up little scrub monsters. Not relevant at all. Let's just quickly get right into it. There will be a few gathering quests that we do have to do. We're going to quickly do them. Don't forget, we take our map, our first aid med, our rations, our whetstones, our paintball. Paintballs actually do stick with you between quests. However, rations, first aid meds, and mini whetstones do not. I would recommend taking the paintball every time, because they are kind of irritating to make. But we're going to go and beat up some Jaggi, one of the most common, pervasive enemies in the series. These suckers are in it in some form or another in every single one. But we actually have to look for them. Remember, you can gather from everything here, so that, the red pine cone looking dealies over there. You can even gather from this barrel here. But there's plenty of things that you can gather from. And you'll need to for certain quests. Now we actually have to find the Jaggi. Let's just pretend for a moment we don't know where they are. These are Melinxes. They'll hit you and steal your items. They're also very cute. You can hit them to get your items back. Oh no, my whetstone. So those ones are jerks, but hey, we just move on with our day. Now we run on down. And familiarize yourself with the zones. Once you know where you need to be gathering from, the game becomes a bit of a cinch in that regard. Like, for instance, you can come here and gather from here. This will give you valuable resources that you need to craft gear. So you still need to do this. And Dragon Amber pieces also give you resource points. They'll also give you whetstones as well if you don't want to keep on buying them, but not ideal. And each area will have... Each different map, not different segmented area here, will have different items that you can get. And yes, the different colors are relevant to mining our crops. But same as before, we just come and we beat up the monsters. Waste our meter. These guys will spawn in different locations. For instance, I'm going to guess that they're probably up in 6 as well. Probably in droves, like the macaws were before. But hey, we're familiarizing ourselves with the areas. Thank you. That should be another one dead. Ideally. Now, carving these ones is probably better because Jaggi gear is actually not too bad. It's a good beginner set. Starts you off pretty well. Where the burner set is probably going to have you getting your ass kicked, at a guess. Much like every Monster Hunter game. Whatever set you can quickly upgrade to is going to be far better than the one it starts you off with. But let's go peek up in 6 to see where they are. You can also hit these Kelbies to take their horn. Some of them are... It does have practical applications. But there are probably easier ways of getting those items. Oh no, there are no Jaggi up here. Only more Aftonauts. What a shame. We're going to have to keep running around and looking for more things to do. If you find that your stamina isn't quite as high as you'd like it to be, for instance, the gauge is not maxed out, just eat a well-done steak or a ration, and you'll be back up and running as far as you can. That will gradually deplete throughout the quest, which is why you should bring so many and why they do give you so much. The bar does not stay. Your health, however, will never change. You don't get health down debuffs. That was a big miss, especially given we have such a big cone in which we can do damage there. It's basically a 180. That hurts my feelings more than you'll ever know. Thank you. You'll have a much easier time hitting the large monsters, I assure you. Doing the small monster quests are rarely worth your time. And are almost never key quests. Also, their AI has them jumping away from you an awful lot. Even with such a wide-hitting weapon as the longsword, we're still having trouble hitting these suckers because they just keep jumping away from us. I reckon you're not dead. No, you are. And these things will keep spawning in this area. But yeah, you don't quite have the flexibility you do in World, if that's where you're coming from. We're just going to keep on jabbing them. Reckon you're dead now. Now we're actually going to sharpen up our weapon because we have to. And if you don't feel like waiting for them to respawn, just make your way back down to 3. Or check out 8. They could spawn there too. Unfortunately, you don't get much in the way of music unless you're fighting a big monster, because the music only starts once the enemy sees you. But hey, we're just rolling around. You can also check the status of your quest at any time. Pardon me, that's the exact wrong thing to be hitting. Quest info, my apologies. So we've already done 8 of 10. Tells you how much time you have left. It says remaining reward. As you take defeats, or carts as they will be referred to by some people, that reward will be thirded down. So for instance, it would be reward reduced by 100, then 200, and then on your third defeat, you fail the quest. On multiplayer quest, it is 3 defeats total. So if your buddy gets carted, that's 1 to your whole total, plus the reward down. I'm sure we can go and find another 2 in Area 3. And then after this, we'll check out the multiplayer hub. There we go. Done. Again, I would recommend carving these guys. Their gear is not too bad for the early game. But for now, we're just going to gather up what we can. You can also gather from these bone piles. You'll find that if it sticks out like a sore thumb, you can probably gather from it. I think that's important. Now this video is already probably getting to be a bit too long, but hey, we're showing off the first hour of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. And setting good foundation for how the game will function for you as time goes on. Ideally, at least. Catch some butterflies, should you be able to. We're also going to discuss the distinction between village quests and guild quests. So this was 2 of our 3 key quests done. And we got another interesting kill screen there. Cool. Now on to the next 2 as quickly as we can. We're also going to make it so that, because these are gathering quests, which are fortunately not all that prevalent in the other ones. You just have to do find the ferns. And then that will unlock another quest, and we'll move on with our day. Order a meal. So you can take either of these 2 again. We'll take Dauntless Pasta because why not? We want to find Feline Gatherer, should it exist. And it may exist for the other foods. No such luck. That's unfortunate. It means that we won't be able to gather from things as much. We can check this one though. That's a shame. Oh well, we'll just take whatever we can here. Why am I still looking? Cool, done. Cool. Offer our first gathering quest. I'm going to explain how to do this one pretty quickly. I've done it a bunch of times. So, the ferns that we need to collect, unique ferns, will be in areas 1, 2, and 4. And then, I'm saying this so I remember now, the mushrooms that we need to collect in the next one are... We don't need to take anything for this one, but hey, it's a good habit to get into. They'll be in 9, 10, and 11, I believe. The abyssal mushrooms. So, we're just going to roll around here, look for the items that we need. Ferns, surprisingly, will be found in pine cones that exist in waterfalls. Very nice looking waterfalls, I might add. But realistically, this is probably about as uninteresting as this game can get. Pardon me, I'm a fool. You do not find ferns here. You find them over in these pink ones. It seems I got my information mixed up. Now, we don't just need herbs, we need unique ferns, and many of them. Again, we can check how many we need, and how many we have by checking our item pouch. But it is all just RNG. Herbs are not too bad to come across, though. This is basically the game's way of saying, hey, we're gonna give you these herbs. So how many did we end up with there? 3 of how many do we need? 8. So we come over here. This should take you no time at all. Ideally, I'll be able to show you off one of the large monster hunts and show you how that tends to look. But this video will end up about an hour and a half long. So no such thing here. These things often look the same, but will give you various different items. So 1 and 2. Ideally, the Melinxes here don't bully us. Sorry, pardon me, this is not even the correct area. These little fellas will not bug you by any stretch of the imagination. You can, however, hit them and bug them for items. They will occasionally drop first aid meds, rations, etc., etc. So that's 5, if I'm not mistaken. And ideally we get 3 from this over here, which I don't even believe is a gathering spot. Nope, it's just a nice looking flower. Any more here? No, that's okay, because we can go to 4, where the Melinxes may actually beat us up. But they're not even here. There's lots of good gathering spots here. For instance, there's some honey right over there. Honey is super good because mega potions, so it's worth remembering where those particular items are. And we ended up with many unique ferns here. Excellent. So we have enough now, if I'm not mistaken. Plus change. Now, the way that you deliver this is you go back to area 1 and then to your home camp. And you stick them in the red box. Next quest, we have to deliver abyssal mushrooms. Which, you know, same deal. I'll tell you where they are, we'll go there, collect them, and then ideally we're on to a level 2 quest. Which is the real meat of the game. But I think being up and running with it all in 50 minutes is not the worst in the world. It is a very long game. Done. Quest over. You can come here, go to bed if you want. Heck yeah. And then, after we do the next gathering quest, we'll actually be onto our first large monster hunt, and that's where we'll be done. It's interesting how long they've persisted with these gathering quests. You can find them in basically everything. They rarely end up being key quests though. Talk to you. Oh look, we should have a new quest now. A fungal hunt. Alright, and we're on our way. I didn't bother reading that time, but I would still recommend it. Alright, take the map. You'll eventually get to a point where you don't have to do that, but because you just remember everything and everything is excellent. But familiarizing yourselves with the zones will take a while, and there's no accounting for experience. Monster Hunter is a frustrating exercise. You'll find yourself wanting to hit your head against a wall, and eventually, ideally, you break down that wall. But it will only be through practice. But it is a very, very rewarding game, that's for sure. So we need not the mushrooms in 3, nor 7, but 8, 9, 10, and 11. Wait, no, 9, 10, and 11, not 8. Of course, if you were so inclined, you could farm the great macaws here, and you can do all of that extra stuff, but you don't get the bonus rewards that a lot of quests will give you. So free hunting is often not recommended, I would say, but the option is available to you. And it's worth, and I know that this may be, as far as guides go, might not be the most interesting thing you've ever seen, but do recall we haven't even hunted a large monster, or we haven't done half of what the game actually has to offer, being high rank, deviants, all these good things. Now we just need to find some mushrooms in this bad boy, whilst avoiding melinxes, ideally. The Joggy are still going to come and beat you up, but hey. Abyssal Mushroom, 1 of 5. Ideally, these guys don't get too in your way, but they will. Times 2. Okay, excellent. If we could get... Come on, just one more. Excellent. That's all 5 that we need. So it's a bit of an exercise in, hey, we're not so clandestinely getting you to familiarize yourself with the locations, but we got all 5 that we needed. Now to exit this area, you can just start climbing up this thing. Now, we'll actually be into the territory of doing large monster hunts. Effectively, every hunt in Monster Hunter is a boss battle. It takes a while, you have to prepare adequately, make sure you're using the correct tools for the job, which is not to say that every weapon isn't viable against every monster. But for instance, I wouldn't be trying to cut tails off with a hammer. And it can be a bit tricky to break head parts off without a hammer. And that's why diversity in your hunting party is super valuable. And that's the next quest down. Thank you. You can also do sub-quests for additional items, or in later ones, if you need to leave with your tail between your legs, you can quit the quests early, and that's super useful. And we're done. And that is your 1-star quests completed. Congratulations, you're actually ready to start the game now. Well on your way to starting the wonderful journey that is this game. I'm a big fan of the art they have on the loading screens there. Pardon me, it seems that I'm missing something. So I guess we'll walk around for a bit. I still haven't shown off the multiplayer thing. Thank you so much. New info is added to the monster list. We'll quickly check out the online hub. This can be accessed by tapping ZL on your controller or Joy-Con, what have you. Create hub. And this is how you create an online hub. It's exactly the same as the other one. You have a person here who will give you a hunter rank. You'll be able to come here to the guild store. Quest giving gal. This has a different subset of quests. So in older Monster Hunter games, there are offline quests and online quests. And they're all different. And every quest in here will be scaled up for you to be able to do that. But it's your relatively standard affair. You've got a chef, you've got people that you can talk to that will give you additional stuff, a style master, a place that you can eat, an item box, all these good things. However, if you have no friends to play with, or you simply don't want to, you can join other people's hubs, or I'm sure you can go on any form of looking for group thing. For now, we'll go see if we can get our... Pardon me. Our fellas. So, there's now a different segment to the Palico Ranch. Have you got something for us? Thank you for giving me the honey and 200 Academy points. Come here to the Palico Dojo, in which we can put our Palicos in for moves and skills. Thank you. And to bring our fella, this is how you switch to Prowler mode, etc. Select Palico, Palico 1, we can bring Pete with us. Now Pete's going to come on quests with us, which is pretty cool. I believe you can do that straight away. It was silly of me not to do so. Now, we've done everything required to actually do whatever we want. A Great Macau, oh my goodness. So it's like one of those little suckers that we had before, but big. These will be displayed to you as urgent quests. These are always how you're going to progress to the next thing. And let's get a move on with this one, shall we? Make sure you eat a meal before this one. We'll take the health and the attack up S. Make sure you pick something that you're happy with here. I'm just going to take Feline Polisher. This is where the game truly begins. Make sure that you're not carrying too much stuff so that you can actually get items off the monster at the ending there. But yeah, 10 Mega Potions, raw meat, well done steak. You can bring additional regular potions if you're so inclined. I'm not going to do that for now, but ultimately we have everything we need. And again, that nice little flavor text. So, for the final time in this video, we got our map, our first aid man, our rations, our mini whetstones, our paintballs, and we're off. You can talk to the Veggie Elder if you want additional supplies, but now we just need to walk around to go and find the Great Macau. I wonder where they could be. Take one last look around. If you feel like you forgot anything, you can gather it here, but don't be a stranger to just hitting abandoned quest and feeling foolish, which you do have to do in this one. There is no item box that you can access with all of your current resources or anything you can get here, nor can you eat during quests again. By the way, they spawn in Area 5 here. Not a big fan of the text they use for that. But hey, Great Macau, our first large monster, which you'll be able to kill them over and over and take their gear if you're so... skin for gear, rather. The true premise of Monster Hunter. Or you can just capture them, if you're so inclined. The first thing that you're actually wanting to do, before you even pull out your weapon, is hit them with a paintball, which will mark them on your map, which will allow you to track them easier. This game has no scout flies. So, for instance, the more aerial monsters, or the ones that can burrow, If you lose them, they're gone, and you're going to spend 7,000 goddamn years looking for them again, and it's going to be a nightmare. We can use this to clear out some of these fellas, and it doesn't matter what you hit, you'll be charging up your spirit/gauge. So as you can see, we're already in a circumstance in which we need to mini whetstone. We could have upgraded our weapon using some of the ores that we got, which would give it a bit more sharpness. That's also one of the problems with sharpening. But Pete's going to be holding down the fort. You also want to be trying to do targeted damage. What this means is you can cut tails off monsters and the things of that ilk. For Macau, because it uses it as part of its moveset, you probably cannot cut its tail off. It's been a while since I fought one of these devils. But I imagine that you can damage it still and get something valuable off it. Now we're in level 2. If we unlock Sakura Slash, we'll be laughing. If for whatever reason you do run out of whetstones, you can just go and mine up some more. So it's a fairly standard affair here. Just learn its patterns, dodge, do damage, all these good things. It only has a few specific attacks, some of which are shared between monsters. Subquest complete, which, you know, if we want to leave with our tail between our legs, we can do so now. We're going to hit it with the Sakura Slash, so that we can level up again. Excellent stuff. Now we're fully charged, doing as much damage as we possibly can whilst hitting this monster. Your red gauge depletes pretty quickly, but if you just hit it with a fully charged Spirit Splash combo, not only do you get lots of damage out of that, but you refill it, obviously. Now we're looking pretty low on health, so we're going to absolute evasion to put our stuff away, and we're just going to find the opportune moment to heal. Which, that was nearly not it. Like, I very well could have died there. For a while, it's better off healing high, bringing more than 10 potions, but we'll see how we go. Now, this is why we paintballed them. It's running away now. Ideally, it runs us through some areas where we can pick up some different supplies, you know, honey, mining items, etc., etc. But we should be pretty familiar with Area 6 at this point. He's come to get his little posse. And it's a standard affair, you know? Very, very satisfying gameplay loop. Learn the monster's patterns, follow it around, hit it. However, the monster does have one more trick up its sleeve that we're yet to see. That was an example of a part break. It drops a thing that you can pick up. We're seeing no visible damage on the monster just yet, but I assume we broke one of its claws. Now, as you can see, because it's drooling a bit, we're in a position where it's running out of stamina, so it won't use some of its higher intensity moves more often, and we'll actually get some more windows of opportunity to hit it. It does have this nice visual indicator. Try and get a combo off. I think it'll probably move before we're allowed to. Very nearly. Now, as you can see, he's limping away. This means that the monster can now be captured if you want to do that. For additional rewards, but at a less high rarity, So every monster has specific things that you can take off its body if you carve them or break certain parts of it. We're going to follow him back to his nest and actually slay him this time. And that'll be our first hunt in Monster Hunter done. And that'll be your first hour in Monster Hunter completed. Not every monster will be so easy though. This of course is the tutorial boss. Excellent, we got some good stun damage on him there. Didn't quite dodge the way that I wanted to. Thank you so much. Might as well heal because we have the first aid meds to burn. You can also craft first aid med pluses. By combining them with one honey. Now, it's in Rage mode, which is that trick up its sleeve that I was talking about now, but it is running away. Rage mode will change some monsters' movesets, it'll change how aggressive they are, it's pretty cool. Now, as you can see, he's going into an area we can't access. This is where the paintball comes in handy. We can't go that way, so we can use the paintball to track where it is that it is gone. And look, he's going to sleep. Well, it would be if we didn't come so quickly. Thank you, Banabra. Honestly, it's probably worth us healing, so I'd rather not go down here. Even though we can probably kill it before it becomes a big issue to us. It can be kind of difficult to bait that one out at times. But there we go. Done. That's your first hunt done in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Hope you had fun with it. I think we're going to call it there for the guide. Don't forget to carve it. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. If you guys have any comments or ideas for things that you would like to see be another guide, I don't really have any intentions of doing any other ones, as I'm sure there are some fantastic resources out there. But I hope that this will help you get started in Monster Hunter in 2020. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.